Thanks for staying with us. So the last 20 years, the residents of Satellite Town in Lagos State have been battling with the rampant erection of high inflammable and volatile tank farms within an area that was gazetted to be a residential area. Now, according to an expert, it's like a ticking time bomb. If care is not taken and urgent steps are embarked upon, the outcome may be catastrophic. Now, joining us on the show is the chairman, Satellite Town Forum, Governor Micheal Imitini. Welcome to the show, sir.
Thank you very much.
You can also reach us on our Twitter handle at TVC Connect. You can hashtag your TVC so we can read your tweets. You can also reach us on Facebook, hashtag TVC Connect and TVC Connect, hashtag your view. So you can join the conversation on Facebook too. Okay, so I think we'll be having also Mr. Ayodeji Bakari, who is a renowned safety expert, to join us on the phone very shortly. Well, in the meantime, I would like to start with Governor Imitini. Governor is a great Governor Imitini.
Yes.
Now, Satellite Town, we all know the issues.
Yeah.
And it seems that when the presidential task force was inaugurated and the governor got involved, there will be some kind of a sanity that has been restored to that. Could you give us an update so far from the time the presidential task force was put together, constituted, till now? Has there been any kind of improvement in your area?
I want to first of all sympathize with you the issue that happened in TVC.
Thank you.
That is very important that we know, because this station has been our focus that has been so much in our agitation.
Yes.
And back to your questions, I will tell you that it's 0-0, not 10. They have not done anything. As a matter of fact, the situation is getting out of hand. That we need to address that situation. If we don't address the situation, I'm telling you, like the experts told us, that within 5 years, from now to 5 years' time, that Satellite Town might not be in existence.
Whoa.
Because the fact is that the tank farm, not just only the tank farm now, they've introduced a gas plant.
Wow.
And these are situated within the same place. I don't know why Nigeria were like this. I don't know why DPR should allow it. I don't know why Federal Ministry of Environmental should allow it. That a tank farm in a small parcel of land, you have over 5 or 10 of them in that place, and now you are introducing a gas plant. Wow. That is, I have never heard of that. And so it is ridiculous for any government, reasonable government, to have allowed such a thing to happen.
Let's go back history. How did Satellite Town even become a commercial area? Was it ever planned to be commercial?
Not.
Or, what happened exactly?
Not at all. Let back to history, a little bit of it. In the year 2009, personally, I've been in Satellite Town for 35 good years. When I entered Satellite Town as a young man, my house rent was 40 naira. 40 naira. A room, 40 naira. And so nobody will tell me the history of Satellite Town. That place is a residential area. It's not at any time a mark for commercial or industrial area.
Okay.
Now, as at far back as 2009, there was no tank farm at all.
Okay.
The whole place was quiet and every other thing was in order. Then at the year 2012, we saw the emergence of tank farm. And we have 5+, that is 5 tank farm that were there. Then, and the houses as of that time, because people were building.
Let me pause you for a second. For those Nigerians that don't understand what a tank farm is, what is a tank farm?
Yes, it's a storage tank whereby petroleum products, the diesel, the PMS are being stored.
Yes.
Yeah. So those things, as of that time, 2012, we have about 5 tank farms.
Okay.
And those 5 tank farms, from the distance between them and the building were just 230 meters.
Okay.
As of that time. And then at 2013, we have about 16+ tank farm already there. With all this, we have been shouting right when they started it.
Yes.
But because of the fact that Nigeria is a corrupt nation of those people that are there, they took money. I'm sure I can say it because no Federal Ministry of Environment or DPR will agree that a tank farm should be set in a residential area.
So in 2012...
I'm coming. Then on 2013, we have about 16 of them. proximity as at of that time is also 230 meters. At 2015, we now had 43. 43, for you to know that they are now encroaching into the environment. So much. And as at of this time, now we have 50 meters. Just 50 meters. At the year 2019, minimum of 50 plus, because I'm telling you now they are building more. You know, the worst part of it is that I will also give you history of what happened about fire outbreak 3 times. I will also tell you about that. So we have 50 plus, and this 50 plus now, we have the distance from there to the community now, to the resident is 50 meters. So you can find out that they have now been encroaching seriously, gradually, by taking over the whole place. Now, look at what happened.
Okay, I'll let Miriam jump in for a second. Let me go in a quick break. We'll come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us, we'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. So we're still with Governor Imitini on this issue of satellite town. Mariam had a question. Go ahead, please.
So when the community, satellite town community, noticed the tank farms being built, could you, just for clarity, could you tell us the specific things the community did, or the specific help that they sought and who they sat down with? Was it just people coming out and just making noise on the street, or did you sit down, did the community come together and sit down formally and officially with those in charge about the building of tank farms in that area?
Yeah.
The reason why I ask it is many times when you ask officials, they say, well, if you don't make it formal, people are just talking on the streets, but you have to make it formal. I would like to know if you did that.
We wrote a letter.
What year
that
did
was
this start?
2000, they started 2009, 2010. So at that time, when we heard about it, actually they said, initially, the people were deceived that they are going to use that place as a residential area. That is building of estates and all that. But they now saw a different design of tank farm that came in. So immediately we were against that. We wrote a letter to Lagos State, as a matter of fact, for them to stop such this. But, you know, along the line, you know, like I told you, our Nigeria factor way of doing things, they said, who are those people that are talking? And nothing, they didn't take us serious, as a matter of fact. And they went ahead doing whatever things they feel that they can do, because the power belongs to them. You and I that is here, we said, okay, we vote. By the time we vote, then they put them in the power. So the power belongs to them.
So at no point?
At the point is that, one, environmental impact assessment was not even conducted. So if they had come up with environmental impact assessment concerning building of tank farm in that place, we would have also attend it and make our inputs about it. Even with the one that we attended, that we're fortunate and we fought to get into it. Concerning it, that one is has to do with a container terminal. Okay? That one that we forced ourselves into in Atikoyi, they still went ahead and do it. So there is nothing you will do that they will say, okay, we listen to them. It is not in this country.
All right. Let me even ask you, because I know that I think it was in 2019, you, with the residents of Satellite Town, gave the government 5 years ultimatum.
Yes.
And one of the things you mentioned was that you people wanted them to have a fire service.
Yes.
There, you wanted them to expand the roads.
Yes.
So far, have you seen? Have you people been in talks with government to? Because since 2019 now, we say just have a few more years to the 5 years.
Yeah.
Are they doing anything in line with the agreement?
Thank you so much. They have not done anything. Can we imagine that kind of? We have over 50 tank farms. And each of the tank farm there, one alone it contains 7 million liters. That is of petroleum products or whatever. One tank farm alone, one alone is 7. And they have up to some that contains about 12 million liters.
Okay.
Wow.
Okay? Then if those tank farm now should, in case of any fire outbreak, in any of them, that we split out, there is no way they can contain it. Because the fact remains that they have not even built a fire station up to this moment.
Not one.
Not even one. You can do your forensic, you can do your investigation. How do they call it? Not forensic, journalism investigation. Please go and do it. You cannot find one. If you see anyone, call me a liar. You can't find any fire station in that tank farm. And they will be, this year, making it 9 years now, they're operating. Because they started operation fully 2012. Up to this moment, they took us to a place and they said they are going to use this place as a fire station, that they are going to build a modern fire station. That was what they told us. I said, okay, fine. We went, we inspected the place. That was last year. No, 2 years ago. 2 years ago, 2018. 2019 went, 2020, and now we are in what? 2021. They have not done it.
So, Governor,
for 9 years now.
correct me, please.
Yes.
I noticed that government actually planned the coming of the tank farms because 2009 was when the Mara Road was commissioned.
Yes.
So if they planned a single lane road, you know, for that kind of thing and continue to expand without expanding the, you know, such infrastructure around it, you know, what, or do they have plans, maybe in your interactions now as the chairperson of the Satellite Town Forum, meeting with agencies of government, do they have plans? Have they shown you a framework where they say these roads, this Mara road will now have an expansion or dualization or even extra, you know, inter roads to the tank farms to create alternative for the residents? Do they have such plans in the works?
Yeah, they came up, they told us, there is a meeting we held with the tank farm, DPRO, and then the community, which I was equally privileged to attend that meeting. And in that meeting, they promised that they are going to dualize Mawa Road, which is a single lane. That road, by the length of it, is about 7 meters. And each of the tank is about 2.4 meters. That is the distance. So if you have two already, by approximation, you have 5 meters occupied by the tank itself alone. So you only have 2 left for the people. So in the actual sense, for them to would have, first of all, to plant tank farm in that kind of a place, what they would have done first is to dualize the road. But they didn't do that. They still walk on the normal road, which is meant for the community, just for a smaller car to pass through. That is what is there. They've not done anything. Now, last year, again, let me bring it before you, that to your notice, that last year, they told one of their representatives, who is the secretary of the Tank Farm Association, I don't want to mention his name, and that we should do a kind of, there are roads which we ask them to, if they can do it, at least it will assist the people movement and all that, alternative route. All these are adjoining streets and all that. We did all the calculations. After doing all the calculations and everything, till today, nothing has been done.
Hey.
Nothing. So the only road that you have in Satellite Town is that Mawa Road. Finish. And that is where everybody is going through.
Okay, let's go on a break. When we come back, we'll continue this conversation. Stay with us. We'll be right back. Thanks for staying with us. All right, so let me play the devil's advocate a bit. And the reason is because as policymakers, there's something called the greater good. Because the product we're talking about is something that approximately 200 million people benefit from, PMS, diesel. This is like the major revenue source of our country. So as a policymaker, you're thinking, okay, this satellite town community, they are a percentage, just a slight fraction of the Nigerian population. So as a policymaker, I would say, would I rather relocate the entire community so that Nigerians can have access to these tank farms for the use of PMS. So in your view, do you think there's an option your community is willing to consider? And has the government even preferred this solution for your community?
In short, frantically, I would say no to it. See, we are talking about human being. You should, first of all, you have to look at the lives. You see, recently I think I read it also. American came to this country and rescued one of their members that was in captive. Just only one soul. Now we are talking over how many thousands of people lives.
What's the population in Satellite Town?
Satellite Town, I'm not exaggerating, we are close to about 1 million.
Okay, so 1 million people over almost 200 million Nigerians who are using this product.
I am coming, yes. I'm coming. Because why I'm saying this thing is this. That area, don't forget that, Morayo, that place is a residential area. In the first place, DPR has already, they told us in one of the outings that it was a mistake made by them for citing that tank farm there.
Okay.
It's a residential area. So how on earth you want to move the people from that? People have settled in that area. We settled. For how many years now we've been in that place?
Okay.
Now, the closest that, do you know that those houses were built, some of the houses in Satellite Town were built 1976, 1977? Some, those are closes and owners occupier by private companies like Shell, NNPC, NITEL, and other ones, other private individuals, estates that are there. Then how on earth? Is it only in Satellite Town that they have water?
Okay.
Why can't they go to Lekki to go and build it there?
But it's not close to the ports. Let's be
No,
realistic
no.
here.
Okay, that
yeah.
that Atlantic estate,
Yes.
Eco Atlantic,
Yes.
is that place not big enough to contain tank farm?
Okay.
Why didn't they use that place? Why must it be Satellite Town?
All right.
So let
Let me
me-
come. Okay, go ahead. Follow up.
So, of course, satellite town community
Yes.
is part of, I mean, you must have representatives at the National Assembly.
Yes,
So I'm wondering, what levels of interactions have you had with your representatives?
yes.
What have they done? What commitments have they made and kept? What
Yeah.
resolutions have they made and kept? Or
The-
haven't kept, and why?
Concerning our representatives, especially from the Federal House, National House of Assembly, the Senator Yayi, which is popularly known, in short, we have not fed any part of that man. I don't know whether he's representing anybody in that place.
Just
The only person that actually who has intervened somehow, not just because he did it also for, I don't know whether for a purpose, but for one thing he has done, which I know he has tried his best, is Honorable Ego, Emmanuel Ego, representing Amu Odofi. Okay? Because at a point where we were shouting and agitating and all that, with the letters we wrote and all, we were invited to House of Representatives.
Okay.
We had a meeting,
House of Assembly.
The House of Assembly.
House of Representatives.
Yeah, House of Reps.
House of Rep. Okay, and we have actually gone to this House of Rep in Lagos, House of Assembly also in Lagos,
Okay.
because almost all the ministry in Nigeria, as far as this issue is concerned, we have touched all of them.
Okay.
I don't know of any ministry that is not aware of this agitation, even to the presidency. So Ogene at a point now move a motion,
Yeah.
a kind of that is oversight, that which they said ad hoc committee on the need to relocate tank farm in a residential area of Ijegu, Kirikiri, and others.
Yeah.
Okay.
What year is this?
And this was done on the 22nd of July last year. Okay, I was there, and that happens to be my birthday. Thank you very much for appreciating me on that day. You understand? I cannot forget that. Okay, so we went there. We told them. They said, okay, they've heard about all the agitations we are talking about and all the challenges and all that. They called us for a meeting. We went there. They saw reason with us. They were so glad.
What
that
has been,
we
because
came.
of time, what has been done? Have they done anything so far?
Nothing has been done.
Okay, that's the point I wanted to get.
They came for oversight. Okay. The oversight they came, now they turn around things that we should not cohabit with tank farm. That is what they are saying.
wow. So let me go to the issue of flooding and drainages, because
Yes.
I remember the last time you were on the show.
Yeah.
It was a major issue that we talked about, and there were promises made that they will look into it. Has anything been done concerning the drainages? Has it been built? Has it been reorganized? Has it been sorted out? Can you tell us what has happened so far from the last time you were on the show?
Yeah, I want to really be sincere on this. I want to thank TVC, our sister Anima, and every one of you also, because you brought the Lagos State Minister of Environment to the show on that day, and we happened to meet with engineer Shodende. Engineer Shodende was here with us, and he promised to take up our issues, and which he did, and also the issues that were highlighted concerning that Codit Gota in front of Uriade LCDA. I think they compared the army people, army engineer who were doing working for the tank farm. They now did it an open Gota.
Wow.
So at least there is a little respite. Though they've not done that of NPF, NGI, and then that of NNPC. They've not done that.
Okay.
They only ended it at a place they call Learning Field Junction. But we are still agitating, telling them that, look, it has to get down to Finanja bus stop. That is when that place can be free.
We have to wrap up with you. Yeah, let me let you finish.
Okay. Then, I want to thank Lagos State. Lagos State has come up with, this is not time from Lagos State. They've come up now addressing the drainage system in Shalom Estate, Divine Estate, and Juvenile Estate. In short, they are doing a great job. They've started it, but it's slow. Let them hasten it up because the rains are coming. Because
So
from the little one they have done, I think by the time it rained this year.
So your primary concern is with the federal government. Lagos State is trying to make things
Lagos State is trying to make things better for us.
All right, so at least we can give them that.
Yeah.
Okay, unfortunately, we have to wrap up that because we have to bring in security experts on the show to tell us exactly what the security challenges are in that area. Stay with us. We'll be right back.